Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Meno Lounge. I'm Julie Gordon-White, CEO of Boss of Ours, soon to be Meno Well if you're following along. It's Tuesday. We're here talking about all things menopause. I am super excited about a fun conversation today. Usually we're talking about kind of heavy things, but today we're talking about a fun thing, and it is with somebody I've been following a while. Let's see if we can bring her up right here. I see you. I knew you were going to request, Nishi. You're a pro. Here she comes. And Nishi Bhonsle is incredible. She's a certified physical therapist. She's a certified nutritionist. I love this. She is not only is she beautiful, she's South Asian wellness expert. I'm so excited to talk about that. So welcome to the Meno Lounge. So fun to actually talk to you like IRL, right? Sort of IRL. Is that correct?
Yes. So excited. I am just like waiting for this opportunity to talk to, your audience and just like bring in my audience. And you have such an amazing platform. And I'm just thrilled.
Thank you. And thanks for being such a supporter, because anyone who's in the wellness space who supports our product and the bars and what we do, that always makes me feel like, okay, we did the right thing and we have the right ingredients and, all those good things. We take it so seriously. So when a wellness professional gives us the sign of approval, we're like, yes. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about how to celebrate the menopause fab life. Now, I try to do that every day, sometimes in my pajamas, sometimes, not getting in a shower until the afternoon because I'm just hitting it hard. But fab life, I think, is what we're all about too. So tell us, first of all, what that means to you, and then I want to circle back to your background and talk about South Asian wellness because that's like huge for me. So what do you mean by fab life in menopause?
Yeah, fab life is really like, if I had to say a little phrase, stop existing and start living. And if you ponder on that a little bit, that all means that, you got to be intentional with everything you do. And that doesn't mean that, oh, I need to schedule time for manicure, I need to schedule time for pedicure. No, from the time you believe you have a breath and you wake up in the morning, you start with a gratitude, right? And I'm really going to step down this, right? Like having that gratitude every single day. I'm still here with the bounty of this nature, and my family and community is here with me. Wow, you already got it for you, right?
You're good for the whole day, right? Just with that.
Exactly. Then okay, so with your mindful of you're filling up your cup every single time you say this to you filled up your mental cup, you filled up your the right hormones are now fueled to like take on the day, right? And it just lightens up your eyes, and it does to me, and I'm telling you that's how it just works. Just give it a try. Then you need to take care of your body, because your body is a machine, and like any other machine, you need to put in fuel, right? So start with that all bountiful water. Like get that water in your system, whatever your routine is, like lemon, greens, whatever it is, just get on it, right?
You're saying, so fab life to you is this holistic approach, right, of nutrition, intention, belief, movement, and I want to go in deep on all these things. So I'm going to circle you back. So how are you still a physical therapist, PT, or have you moved on from that? Tell us where you are in your fab midlife here,
so all of that is a package. Like you cannot do food without fitness, without lifestyle. Like food, fitness is part of the lifestyle that defines fab. For me, fab is not aesthetic. For me, fab is that self-awareness, that the ability to come out as your best self every single day. And it's so easy if you just imbibe the fact that you're meant to be. This is who you are. You were born in this world to do this. Then why accept anything less than that, right? Like we all have a job to do on this earth. And, you know, it doesn't have to be about stress. Like I feel stress got introduced just because we started to think about it. We all need stress in the morning because anxiety creates the right adrenaline to get work done. But we then let that take over us versus taking that self-awareness and bringing it in the front and saying, okay, we're done with stress. We're done with it. We got
Thank you for the gift of the morning
Yes.
to get the engine revving.
Yes.
You can go now.
Yes, exactly. Like, bye-bye. Like I embraced you. I love you. You got my work done. Bye-bye. Now I am going to, you know, move on and, you know, enjoy my TV or get like, you know, a good walk or, you know, cook a nice family dinner or, you know, go out with my best friend or, you know, just enjoy a bosa bar and, you know, just relax, you know. We need to be so intentional with everything we do every single day. And when it comes from inside, Julie, it is not a burden. It doesn't require a journal. I mean, of course, you can journal as much as you want, but when it's so intentional and it means to you more than anything else in the world, you'll just do it. It's almost like it becomes your second nature. And that's what I'm asking women to think about, that the fab life doesn't have to be something you know, kind of learn from somebody. It is yours. It's always yours. You just need to discover it. It's there.
So are you saying, and I love everything you're saying, you and I are very connected in this way, and are you saying that the fab life is internal? It's not external. It's not something outside of ourselves. It's not the next pair of shoes, although you can get all kinds of things on Amazon right now because they're all on sale, right? But it's in private, and that's a fun thing, but it's not external. We don't need, especially midlife, to go externally to fill our cup anymore, because especially in midlife, we have enough living experience life that it's all internal. It's all there for us to tap into if we're intentional. Is that right?
Absolutely. The fab life is internal and intentional. We all got it, right? It's an opportunity that comes to us every single day. And why let that go, right? You don't have to climb Mount Everest to feel the opportunity. You just have to wake up and know it's there in front of you, right? It's there for you.
The gift of every single morning. Yes. I love it. And by the way, Sonia Barnes says, yes, it's not superficial or social media, but then you did say hashtag Prime Day, Sonia. This is what I love about us. Like, we can do all the things, right?
It's all a harmony, right? It's, you got to find that peace, and shopping on Prime Day gives you that peace. Go for it, girl.
Have fun. Like, joy.
Yes. Really, like whatever brings you joy as being internal and intentional, do it, right? There is no right or wrong. However, know that it's not external, that it's not a plan that somebody puts in you. It's about discovering what that means for you, right?
So good. So good. Okay, let's circle back. South Asian wellness expert. Tell me about that, and what does that mean to you?
What that means is really, you know, going back to my roots. So I was born in India 46 years ago. Yes, you know, I don't shy away from my age.
Me either. I'm 58 all day. I love it. Right? So
I'll just shout it over the mountain. Hey, you with me?
Yeah.
So, you know, and my mother, obviously everybody's mom is the best cook in the world, right? My mother cooked, and she still like sends me, you know, WhatsApp pictures every single day. Like, she makes exquisite breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. And there's just two of them there. And she just comes up with new recipes. So as growing up, I was exposed to this TLC every single day. And for me, that wellness was that homebound TLC. For me, it was so ingrained in how we grew up, me and my brothers, that it became central to me that, you know, I'm a South Asian. For me, wellness is homebound. And wellness is when your family or whoever is there that takes care of you, and you take care of them, and you know that. And I when I moved to the States 25 years ago, you know, I missed that for the longest time. And, you know, life happened. And when I finally settled down 17 years ago, I started to look at creating what I'd learned from my mom is really focusing inward inside my house, and that wellness when it comes from, you know, everything that you've learned as a child, and if you can bring it back, it is so deep. So, you know, I'm talking about like spices. I'm talking about sitting together and eating a meal. I'm talking about, you know, discussing, you know, what's in the food. I'm talking about like tea. I'm talking about bread. I'm talking about like just very simple things, you know, and this is why the fab life is really simple. You know, you gotta find that root. And for me, my root is that South Asian wellness, and which is a conglomeration of, you know, everything that we did to bring the family together, where we had that conversation, where we enjoyed food every single day. And that just is so much joy for me. That memory is probably the strongest memory for me right now. It's like almost like, you know, I was watching the Harry Potter movie the other day, and you know, he's asked to think of your strongest powerful memory, and I'm just like, my mom cooking home cooked meals.
Yeah, beautiful. I think a lot of us have that feeling, but not every mom's food is wellness, you know. I grew up in a home where my mom is a beautiful cook, like your mom, but she came from the South, from Louisiana, where there's a lot of foods that are delicious, but not prepared very healthily. And fortunately, she learned how to prepare delicious foods with a healthy orientation. But many of us don't grow up in a home where that food that's made, even though food is love, right? So there's that wellness piece of it, but it might not be healthy. So how do you navigate with women who work with you, let's say, you know, who have grown up in that sort of wellness love environment, but the food is not very healthy, so their wellness doesn't start from that place?
Right. So at that point, I'm really discovering that with them, right? It's like the first conversation is, you know, what was your childhood like? So I'm working with that client, you know, that consultation is really going back to what was your childhood like, because no matter where we are, Julie, in this world, our childhood is the biggest impactful phase of our life that, you know, frames us as an adult, as, you know, going ahead, and what we impart to our children too, right? We always go back to what we learned when we were childhood. So I'm spending time discovering that. And when I learn that, you know, some of these people haven't had, you know, those phases or that in their life, I'm really thinking about, okay, how can I fill their bucket? What can I share with them? What can I teach them? So my attitude is always about, I will never be a doctor, because I'm not going to prescribe you medication or something to fix a problem. I will teach you to get to understand why is it like this for you today, right? And when we go into that teaching mode, you know, you are then put in a constant learning. So now these women, when they're creating, you know, food for themselves and their families, they are experimenting because they are in that learning mode, because they have been taught to open their minds to like, why? Like, how can I prepare this meal? Why is it this way? You know, what can I do to make it better? And let me go and, you know, research this other ingredient, right? So I always think about these seeds and these sprouted grains. Like, you know, when we start to talk about like what's in your pantry, what's in your, you know, your fridge or whatever, like just going back into the food aspect of it, because food is God, food is heaven, right? Like you can
We are
exercise
what we eat. That is a fact.
it is how you look is what's at the end of that fork. I read this somewhere.
Wait a minute. Wait, Nishi, say that again. That's so good.
How you look is what is at the end of the fork. If you are dipping your fork in white pasta and, you know, look, I am going to be very opinionated here, because I've seen
go.
results. I've seen outcomes. but do you, right? Like if that works for you, you know, I'm glad, and I'm glad this life is serving you. However, you know, there are enough studies to show that, you know, some things just do not do well for the gut as you age. And here we are talking of menopause. It's menopause is really an opportunity for us to again look at the quality and the well-being of our life, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
you know, bringing that food aspect and really scrutinizing it, and, you know, looking at it as menopause is pro-aging. This is where you get another opportunity to create another life. Like we're all having such longer lifespan. I think we have a huge life in front of us after 40s.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's
Yes,
almost like a second
for
chapter. Like
sure. At
it's a
least
second
50
inning.
years, you know, we live into our 90s or beyond. I'm going for 101. So what we eat matters. And especially, you know, someone says, I was loving berries, you know, and they're in
Yeah.
season, even if they're not in season, but,
Yeah.
and I get a lot of them because I eat a
Yeah.
lot of blueberries and blackberries, anything
Yeah.
dark and rich, you know, with all the
Exactly.
antioxidants.
Yeah.
And someone said, those are so expensive. I said, you know what? I'm 58. I don't even look at how much things cost. If it's something healthy for my body, I deserve it. You know, I cooked for 3 people and a husband and probably the dang dog, you know, for
Yes.
all these years.
Yes.
And it's time for me to put in my body whatever I think is going to nurture it. And so we deserve it. That's really the bottom line.
Yes.
So this is berries. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, like starting again, all that you said was so internal,
Yeah.
was so intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like I deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I am born for this. I do not need
It's
to
my
be
time,
deficient.
right? Menopause is our time.
Yes.
Perimenopause, your body's being called you back to it. So we have to listen.
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
Menopause is pro-aging. Menopause is not a deficient state. Menopause is when we take care of ourselves even more intentionally and and paying attention to how we feel internally.
Right.
And the biggest thing I would say is, you know, asking for help. Like especially in women, I feel that we shy away from that for some reason. Maybe it's just our upbringing, or,
Right.
you know, what we're surrounded with, this, you know, I'd say man
Well, it's
dominated.
this generation of midlife women because we've been empowered. So, you know, I'll do it myself, or it's okay, I've got it. You know, can I pick up? No, I've got it. When I teach my daughter how to receive, you know, that no, when someone offers, you say yes, thank you. Be
Yes.
gracious and accept, you know,
Yes.
because otherwise we deny ourselves so many things.
Exactly. We all carry so much wealth in through our experiences. Like we have since we were born, we have learned to care and nurture. And as we come to our midlife, we have gone through careers, we have gone through family, we have gone through community, we've gone through so much. And we tend to think that we can keep on carrying this burden,
Right.
and all by ourselves. And I think that is the turn in our life where we need to stop, pause, and be intentional, internal, and receive help. Like be grateful for what you have, glad that you're still able to do what you're doing. However, take the community and bring them in your life. Like this is one thing that as I launched my business, it was important for me to make sense to the community, so that the community is a part of what I do, right? Like when I tap into
Same.
small
Right.
businesses, right, and I promote them and make them my own, I see that we're stronger together as a group. Like we fill our cup, we're filling each other's cup, and it's just overflowing everywhere. And there is
Right.
just, that is so
That's the
much positive
beauty of
energy.
women coming together to support other women, right? So it's exponential, and it's just so wonderful. Like the good feelings that come, that's wellness too, right? The good energy that we create together
Yes.
in that momentum. I
Yes.
agree with you.
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things, if women are trying to choose foods and a way of eating that support them, you put out a new recipe every Monday on Instagram, is
Yes.
that right?
You got that. Yes. Yes, and I'm actually coming up with a recipe book, which is now here's the thing. It's going to be digital. Hey, we don't have coffee table spaces anymore.
Right.
It's done, right?
Yeah,
So
there's no shame in digital. We don't need to kill any trees either. So okay,
yes,
go ahead.
there
Yeah.
you go, Julie. So it's a digital book, and the best part about the book is it's a Pandora's treasure box, in the sense that it will dynamically increase in the number of recipes every
Oh,
single week. So
neat.
now it
Yeah.
comes up, yeah, now you have like, some 60 odd recipes there. Everything is gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, paleo. The part is that that recipe book gets updated dynamically every single week with new recipes. So you lock in a small price, but you're going to get more and more recipes every single week.
Wow.
And
Love
every
it.
single recipe, you can talk to me one-on-one for alternatives, right? Like, obviously, I'm proposing what has worked for me and my clients, and I'm giving you the best of that lot. However, it might not be an ingredient of your choice. You can talk to me one-on-one on each of that single recipe in there for alternatives, right? So you get
Wow.
that personal one-on-one, and you get a recipe book that keeps growing, right? Like,
I love
yes,
that. Well, when you're ready to go, will you let me know so we can help you share it? Because I
yes.
love the idea of a dynamic recipe book
Yeah,
because
it's a
it's,
live recipe
yeah,
book. It's live.
well, it's perfect, right? It's so in alignment with who you are, not a static thing, right? Wellness is evolving. We're always changing, getting new cells, shedding a million cells,
Yes,
probably while we're sitting here having this
yes,
conversation. So it makes perfect sense. I love it. Okay, let's talk about movement
yes,
because I saw that you help women with movement sort of as the pre-workout, if you will, the pre-plan.
yes,
If someone hasn't been moving, they want to maybe down the road establish a
yes,
workout
yeah,
routine, but maybe they haven't been moving. So is
yeah,
that right?
yeah,
The way
yeah,
you talk with women is about is movement as a way to get ready for that
yes,
future thing, which I
yes.
really love that. Meeting women where they are because not everybody's ready to pick up a set of dumbbells. So let's
Not,
talk about that.
oh my gosh. Again, going back to what we were saying before, right? That it has to be internal and intentional. So this has to work for you. And when I say work for you, it's something you need to enjoy.
Yeah.
And I know the need and work are very strong, forceful words, but we need that kind of strong motivation in our lives to
Mhm.
embark on something. So you got to wake up and tell yourself that, today I'm going to need to, do some movement. When you say those strong words to yourself, just give yourself a minute to think about that. I am going to need to wake up and do some movement. It completely changes your brain into going into, okay, I'm not going to find a slot. Okay, what can I do? And so you start processing the how of
Mm.
that, right? So
So you're
when I
saying tell yourself that you need to,
yes,
not I should, right? Because there's so much judgment in should, which makes
yes,
us
I
get
need
stubborn and
to.
not do it, right?
I need
Um,
to.
I
Like, this
need
is for
to.
me.
That's really interesting. Okay, I had not heard of it presented in that way, and probably what that does to the brain to try to solve for the need. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
interesting.
Julie, we are creatures of need.
Mm.
We're born with a desire. That's why we're humans, and it differentiates a little bit from the everything else that exists on this earth, right? We are needy people. Like hashtag I want, right?
Yeah.
Like
Hashtag needy. Yeah.
yeah, so
Exactly.
just bring that casual need to self-care,
Yeah.
right? And I need to move today, right? And when you empower yourself with a need, it's a magic how that word just turns
And
around.
I love, this is so good. I love the nuance between an empowered need and a needy need, right? Because we don't want to be needy.
Yeah,
That is, and especially I don't know, I'll speak for myself. At this point in my life, I don't want to be with people who are needy, right? In an excessive way. I don't mean not caring and present, but needy is different. Needy does not feel like an exchange. It just feels like a take, right? But
yeah,
but empowered needing, like you said, I need this for myself. I need time. I
yes,
need to
yes,
move. I
yes.
need good food. Whatever those things are, so much more empowering. Sonia, having fun with you, Sonia, today. I'm loving your comments.
I am just saying to you, Julie, that this is who I am. Like, for me, having this humor in everything we do, like this, we're we are filled with this. We just take ourselves so too seriously every single day, right? Like I'm an engineering executive. I got probably a fire at work right now, but you know what? That's
Wait a
not
second.
how.
I think I missed that. You mean you do all this? And oh, by the way, I'm an engineering executive. This is why I love you. You are a badass. That's all I have to say.
No,
That's so
and
funny.
this is where people ask
I
me, like,
love it.
hey, how do you do it all? And I never think about how do I do it all. I think that it's all a package. The reason I can do what I do is because I'm so intentional. The reason I can, have clients on the side and, do what I do on Instagram and, have teams of people across the globe working for me and, do all of that is because food, fitness, and lifestyle is how I live every single day. Like, this is why I can do what I can do. So I'm literally an example of what I'm telling you
Wow.
these are not two different worlds. And so my call out to anybody who's trying to maybe, bring in something new in their life, start a new business, or look at their entrepreneurial idea, whatever, make it your own first, right? Like, when it's your own, when you control it, you will be responsible for it. And responsibility is magic. When you know you're responsible for something, you'll do a badass job at it. Like, it's just how that works.
And you'll want to, right? That's why
Yeah,
you'll do so well, because you want to, not because you have to, or because
exactly.
you chose it. It didn't choose you.
Yes,
So much more powerful.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So, going back to, the movement thing, when I'm, starting with that affirmation, I need to, and then, I present options to people because, like you said, people are at different phases of their life. And when you discover the joy in needing something that actually benefits you, it is a transformation. And I am working with people so that they can stick to that routine. And even if it's the most trivial routine of any kind, it doesn't matter. If you are bringing in a change that is positively, influencing your blood flow and, your brain health and your body health, it's great. It's already great, right? And you can then mature it. You can make that change bigger and mature it by adding in other things. When you're ready for it, you will say, hey, I'm ready to, kind of do more, because you're giving yourself the opportunity to know what the change was and stick to it and feel the goodness, right?
That's so good. It's so powerful. And it all starts with that mantra of
I
I need in the
I
morning, right?
need
I need.
I need
That
to.
intentional I need.
Exactly.
So good.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And oh, by the way, I'm an engineering executive.
Yes,
There's probably a fire happening somewhere in the world with my team, but we're going to talk on Instagram about
that's right.
menopause and being fabulous. I love that. I love you even more, Nish. That's all I have to say. Okay, so you've given so many good tips. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to share as we sort of pull this together, because you probably have to go back to work.
Yes, ma'am. I'll leave us with 5 tips that have been sort of, I know, like, I talk about this, chair metaphor, but in this case, there's going to be one more leg. So 5 things here, not 4,
Yeah.
because we think out of the box, right? I love always to think out of the box. So 5 tips that I'm going to leave you with, and in that order, to have that quality, wellness as you come into perimenopause, menopause, or at any phase of your life, man and woman equal. First thing is, go read the book Why We Sleep by Dr. Matthew Walker, right? And get your circadian under control. Like, do it, even whatever phase you are in your life, just do it right now. Yes,
Huge.
huge.
Sleep, I hesitate to say is everything, but it's close.
It is that it's number one. I'm telling you, it's number one. Number 2, know that nutrition is fuel for the brain and the body, right? You eating not just to kind of satisfy your urge, your hunger. you're eating because you want to experience the bounty of this nature. So that mindful eating is crucial to everything you do with nutrition. That mindful, like, that's why I would say, even if you're not a home cook, just, take a waffle from the freezer and just like put butter on it, like, and observe how the butter melts on that warm waffle, like that mindfulness, right? So fuel your brain and body when you eat. It's remarkable how portion control then just becomes so easy, because you're already so satisfied with the whole experience of engaging that you don't end up eating more. And then, like, all the good stuff happens when you eat in portions, and you're loving your food and all of that, right? So
that's so good, especially for busy menopausal,
yes,
all the stages of menopause
yes,
life.
yes,
Because when we're mindful, then we can manage our portions really easily. Then we don't have to sacrifice and give up things that you like. But if you're not mindful and you don't even taste it till the 5th bite, then we've already eaten a whole serving or 2 before we even notice, right?
Yes,
So
exactly. Exactly. And then the other thing I would say, that then the third thing is fitness, right? So we talked about movement. Fitness is, fitness, now I'm going to be, again, using a strong word, because I really want people to think about this. Fitness has to go beyond aesthetics, right? It has to go beyond, hey, I'm in my 20s, I need to look a certain way. I'm in my 40s, I need to get rid of the bulge. I'm in my 60s, I need to make sure my joints are okay. So, like, go beyond the reasoning of, I have to look a certain way, or I cannot have this thing happening to my body, so I'm engaging in a fitness routine. Right. Think about it. Fitness has to outlive any boundaries of age, right? You can start training and working out when you're 6. Like, look at all these kids that are, they're skiing the slopes, and they're just like amazing stuff going on with, like, children, right? And something happens to us and we take a long break from taking care of our bodies, like, in general, right?
My parents are in their 80s and they work out every day. They're very healthy. It's a part of what they do. And it's a good role model. Cha-Cha says, nutrition is important. She always eats portion size. I don't like to feel overly full. Exactly. That's the other thing. You feel better when you don't overeat. But if you're not being mindful, you eat a lot, and then all of a sudden you feel super full. It took a while for it to catch up to your brain, right?
Exactly. And really, and it's great if they can do that, because most of the time we're thinking of something else when we're eating our food, right? And so our brain and the brain in our head and the brain in the gut is not talking. And when that happens, you can easily overeat, or you can want that dessert serving, which is not a scoop, but 2 scoops, right? Because again, you're processing something else. Your mind is something else. That's why the mindful is really look at the food, shelve away all the other thoughts if you can, right? So third point, we talked about the fitness, which has to go beyond the boundaries of age, and has to be, an experience to, like, really, I need to move myself. This body, I have 2 hands and 2 legs. Why? If I did not need to move, I would be a stick. Think about it. Like, why were we made?
Or a rock, right?
Or
a stick or a rock,
right? Like, we are given this system already. We just have to take advantage of it. It's as simple as that, right? And then the fourth one is managing your stress, right? Like, again, I talked about this before, that, stress is good. Anxiety in the first half of the day up to 3 p.m. and I would even say 3 p.m. is good, because that's the average amount that, your body can handle in terms of going up and creating the adrenaline and getting your energy levels and all of that. But you have to manage it after 3 p.m. Do a short meditation, get a 5-minute yoga stretch in, drink your lavender tea, like, do whatever you have to, go for a walk, watch a cartoon show. Like, you gotta bring it down, because it turns chronic pretty quickly. And all the, you know, heart concerns, all the blood pressure concerns, which is such a huge population in America that's affected by it at the age of
And
40.
women, heart disease
Oh,
is the
yeah.
#1 killer of women. And
Yes.
so that's why fiber is so important, you know,
Yes.
things that we try to include, right? So,
Yes.
and stress is right up there.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's sneaky.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say, you know, manage your stress before it gets chronic, like, and get help. If you don't understand your stress levels, you just like, you're like, yeah, I don't have stress. I'm okay. You already stressed when you say that, right? Like if you have, no, this
Otherwise,
is
you
how I'm
wouldn't
asking.
even say it, right? You
Say
wouldn't
it.
have it. It wouldn't be in your awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, we, especially women, we should be saying more. And you know, you can talk to yourself, talk to your partner, talk to your best friend, talk to your doctor, whoever, talk to your pet. You need to release what you feel, because when you hear that voice back, you realize so much more, right? So I really want us to manage that stress out any which way we can and do it religiously. It's very important. So that's number 4. And then the last one is the one that I said before. That's actually, you know, for me, that's why I feel so good about what I do as a small business, is find your community and your support system, right? Like, especially as we're coming into this midlife, it's very important to find your inner circle, right? Like recognize that trust, that friendship, that community, you know, make them a part of who you are if you can. Be a part of what they do if you can. And, you know, just receive and give, right? Like, you know, giving back is just such an amazing, like volunteering your time, your resources in whatever little way you can, you know, is so uplifting. It really creates huge for our hormones, right? And for anybody. And then be grateful about it. Like write gratitude notes, or, you know, do whatever you think to like say a little prayer, or just, you know, bow to yourself before you go to bed. Just like, thankful for this day, right? Like little simple things just create so much more positive, you know, affirmation back into you. And this is how I want to end it, is you have to keep your cup full. Like work towards keeping your cup full by doing these 5 things if you can every single day. And when your cup is full, you know, the doors just open. It's like you can fuel others, and then you're like, I don't have to think about how I do it. I just do it because I have so much to give.
You're always full because you're filling yourself up, then you can freely give, right? And it's just, that is so beautiful. I feel full just hearing you talk about it. Like my heart is full. So good. So beautiful. Good. Sonia says, yes, cup full. Oh, that was so delicious. I can't wait to listen to this all over again for myself. I love it so much. And for women in midlife, these are the things that we can pour into ourselves on a regular basis. Little small things signaling all day long. I love myself. I am worthy. I am happy. I deserve this. I need this. These are things we don't have to say them out loud, right? We're always signaling to ourselves about who we are and what we've accomplished, even, you know, at this time. So,
and when you say all of that, Julie, you will seek help, because you'll realize your brain telling you, okay, all of this, I don't know. Okay, let me talk to somebody. And then you'll seek, you know, an advisor and a consultant, or you'll talk to your best friend and they'll tell you, and then you'll search for tools and you'll look for, you know, things to help you sort that out for yourself, right? So it's really opening that door to let the goodness that exists around you come in and give you. It's waiting for you. You just have to let it in, right? And but the first step is knowing that you need to let it in. So let us flow in those positive affirmations so that we can be intentional with what we need to let in every single day. And then at the end of the day, your cup is full, or at whatever time of the day, and you're just like giving so much.
It's a practice.
It's a practice. Beautiful. Yes.
Practice. Really good. Now that is the menopause fab life for sure, Nishi. Oh, so good. So delicious. I can't wait to talk about it more with you. I can't wait to share your dynamic recipe book when you're ready, all the goodness, and also get it for myself. So last question, you know, I have to ask you, what does menopause like a boss mean to you?
And yes, I'm going to pull it together with saying menopause like a boss means indulging in a fab life of excellent quality and well-being, one that's intentional, one that's internal, and you are wanting to keep your cup full, right? So
Oh,
that's what it is.
so
Yes.
good. So good. I hope we make a clip of just that one part because that encapsulates everything. You are wonderful. You're such a gift. Please continue to share and shine your light on women because I know you're making an impact. Your heart is so authentic, and look at all the hearts you're getting there, all the love. So I know you are an executive. You are a South Asian wellness expert. You're a certified PT, certified nutritionist, and fashionista, and all those other things that we'll talk about next time. But keep doing all your goodness, Nishi. Thank you so much for being with me on the Mental Lounge.
Thank you for the opportunity. I love chatting with you.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Take care.
Yes.
Talk to you soon. Thanks for being here, everybody, especially you, Sonia. Okay.
Yes.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.